The sound of roaring engines filled the air, the smell of burnt rubber and oil mixing with the electricity of a crowd waiting to witness history. Alex was just a boy when he first saw his father, a legend in the world of racing, gripping the steering wheel of his crimson-red car, his knuckles white with focus. His father's name, David Riker, was whispered in awe across the circuit, known not just for his speed but for his unrelenting courage. It wasn't just a race for him, it was life itself, a way to feel free, alive, and invincible. But with greatness came shadows, and those shadows loomed large the day David Riker's car crashed in a fiery blur on the track. That moment shattered Alex's world, leaving him clutching his father's helmet, now scratched and burned, as a reminder of both triumph and tragedy. Years passed, but Alex could never let go of the memory of his father. He studied the tracks, memorized the sounds of every engine, and replayed every race tape until his eyes burned. Racing was in his blood. But while others were chasing trophies, Alex had a different goal: to rebuild the legacy his father left behind and find out the truth behind that fateful crash. It was whispered that David Riker's accident wasn't just bad luck. There were rumors of sabotage, whispers of rivalries that ran deeper than the surface rivalries on the track. Alex built his car with his own hands. Every piece of it had a story. The engine was salvaged from an old model David once drove, now modified and polished to perfection. The tires were a tribute to his father's signature style, designed for speed and precision. But the most meaningful part? The small sticker on the dashboard, a fading image of David Riker smiling, his arm around a young Alex. Every time Alex looked at it, he heard his father's voice in his head saying, "Speed isn't enough, son. You've got to race with your heart." The day of the championship came, and it felt like the air itself was holding its breath. This wasn't just another race. It was the culmination of years of pain, determination, and unanswered questions. His rivals were the best in the world, machines in human form, known for their cutthroat tactics and relentless hunger for victory. Among them was Lucas Kane, a man whose name was tied to David Riker's accident. Kane had everything: wealth, power, and an unshakable ego, but Alex had something far stronger: purpose. The race began, and the world seemed to blur. Alex's hands gripped the wheel tightly, the vibrations of the car surging through his entire body. The crowd roared, but all Alex could hear was his father's voice echoing in his mind. Lap after lap, he pushed harder, weaving through cars, narrowly avoiding collisions. His chest burned from the pressure, but his mind was clear. He was here for one reason. Halfway through, Alex realized something was off. Kane's car was behaving strangely, its movements erratic yet calculated. It wasn't just a race, it was a game of survival. As Alex closed the gap, he noticed a sudden flash of light beneath Kane's car. A spark. A memory hit him like a thunderbolt. His father's crash had the same pattern. It wasn't just a coincidence. Kane had sabotaged the race back then, and now he was trying to do the same again. But Alex was ready. He had studied every move, every possibility, and this time, he wasn't just driving for himself. As the final lap approached, Alex saw an opening, a moment to strike. With a burst of speed, he maneuvered his car into position, cutting Kane off and forcing him to lose control. The crowd erupted as Kane's car skidded off the track, coming to a halt safely but far from victory. As Alex crossed the finish line, tears blurred his vision. He had won, but it wasn't the trophy that mattered. It was justice, redemption, and the knowledge that his father's legacy was finally free from the shadows of betrayal. As he stepped out of the car, the world seemed to slow down. The cheers of the crowd faded, and all Alex could hear was his own heartbeat. He looked up at the sky, holding his father's old helmet high above his head. The journey wasn't just about speed or glory. It was about honoring the past, uncovering the truth, and proving that the heart of a racer beats louder than any engine.